1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Niranjan Abesundara. Head of State presents a proclamation declaring the historic Mahayangana sacred site a place of worship. Cabinet approval sought to introduce a new bill to confirm religious freedom and thwart insults on social media. The 2022 GC oral examination gets underway today. The fuel quota for all vehicles to be doubled from the 31st of May. Interest-free loans to resume from next week for education in private universities. Minister of Agriculture says the stock of urea fertilizer imported for the Yala season to be distributed within the next 2 weeks. International news, Turkey's Erdogan celebrates presidential election runoff win. Sports, it's cricket. IPL final to be played today after heavy rain in Ahmedabad last evening. President Ranil Wickremesinghe presented a momentous proclamation to the Mahavihara Vansika Shamapali Mahanikaya Askari Vihara Senior Karaka Sangha Sabika Most Venerable Urulavatha Sri Dhammarakita Thera, designating the historic Mahayangana sacred site as an officially recognized place of worship. The first executive president of independent Sri Lanka to have visited the Mahayangana sacred site, President Wickremesinghe participated in the restoration work on Sunday, a momentous occasion that received blessings from the esteemed chief incumbent, Urulavatha Dhammasida Thera. During his visit, President Wickremesinghe placed flowers at the Chaitya and engaged in religious rituals. Furthermore, he unveiled a commemorative plaque honoring the unveiling of a magnificent 102-foot Buddha statue situated in the middle of the Villua Lake. Buddha Sasana Religious Minister Vidura Vikramanayake said his ministry will take the responsibility of completely eliminating the harmful acts against all religions, including Buddhism, and will work to bring a new act for that purpose. The minister said the bill will be brought to confirm religious freedom and prevent the distortion of religions, and said approval of the cabinet will be obtained for preparing the bill. Meanwhile, commenting on the recent incidents of insulting statements against Buddhism, Buddha Sasana, Secretary of the Ministry of Religious and Cultural Affairs, Sumaratana Vidhanapatharana, stated, all religious leaders should work together to prevent action of insulting religious beliefs. However, he said that expression of distorted ideas has caused many problems, and the ministry is preparing a program to prevent action which may be detrimental to religious harmony. The weekly fuel quota assigned through the National Fuel Pass QR system has been doubled. Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijayasekara, said the new quotas will be in effect from midnight on Tuesday. According to the subject minister, the original weekly fuel allocation for cars and vans, which are 20 litres and then increased to 30 litres during the April festive season, will be increased to 40 litres from next week. The fuel quota for motorcycles, which was initially 4 litres and divided to 7 litres, will be increased to 14 litres. Registered three-wheelers that received 10 litres initially and 15 litres since April will be able to obtain 22 litres per week. The fuel quota of 5 litres, which was given to the other three-wheelers, has been increased to 14 litres. Meanwhile, buses which were given 40 litres initially and then 6 litres will be able to obtain 125 litres for a week from midnight on Tuesday. Allocation for lorries has been increased to 125 litres from the initial quota of 50 litres, while special purpose vehicles will receive a weekly quota of 45 litres from next week. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Finance State Minister Ranil Balapitiya said the interest-free loan given by the government to 5,000 children to receive education in private universities will be resumed from next week. He said related paper will be presented to the cabinet this week. State Minister expressed his views while participating in a ceremony at Ruwanwela Radhasinga College. Under the program, students will be entitled to an interest-free loan of 900,000 rupees and will also be given a grace period of 2 years to repay. The minister expressed his views while participating at the ceremony at Ruwanwela Radhasinga College. The program, students will be entitled to an interest loan on 900,000 rupees and they'll also be given a grace period of 2 years to repay. The minister underscored that education is the best investment in a country and the government will give priority to education even in challenging times. The Minister of Agriculture says that a stock of urea fertilizer imported with World Bank funding for the Yala season will be distributed within the next 2 weeks. Secretary of the Ministry, Srinivasa Samarasekara, said they have imported 31,250 metric tons of urea fertilizer from Oman. Secretary said they are hoping to distribute them among the farmers before the 12th of June. He noted that they have also received another 3,600 metric tons from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. That was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The 2022 GC O-level examination got underway today. A total of 394,450 school and 78,103 private candidates are scheduled to sit for the delayed 2022 O-level examination at 3,568 examination centers. Governor General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said a comprehensive security plan has been devised for the O-level examination, which will be worked off from today till the 8th of June. His assistance of the armed forces, including the police, will be obtained to ensure examination centers are secure for the students sit for the O-level examination. Over 35,000 principals and teachers will be on exam duty. Meanwhile, Prisons Department has said 5 inmates of the Wataraka prison and 5 held at Vaticana prison, including an individual serving life sentence, are scheduled to sit for the O-level examination from today. Department of Examinations said exam candidates can contact officials for any inquiries and clarification via number 011-2785-922 or 011-278-4537 phone numbers, or through email via gceoexamssl@gmail.com. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight, the Lanka Private Bus Owner Association said that a sufficient number of passenger transport buses will be operated without any hindrance in the view of the GC O-level examination, which commenced today. President of the association, Governor Jayaratna, requested bus drivers to give priority to students travelling in uniform sit for the examination till the 8th of June. Moreover, he also highlighted that 12,000 private buses will continuously operate to provide transport services during the examination period. And we move on to world news. Turkey's Erdogan celebrates presidential election run-off win. Dozens killed in clashes with troops in northeastern India. NATO urges Kosovo to ease tension while Serbia after clashes. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has won a re-election according to the country's Supreme Election Council and unofficial data from the state-run Anadolu Agency in a tense runoff after he failed to secure more than 50% of the votes required for an outright victory in the first round on May 14th. With almost all the votes counted, Erdogan received 52.14% of the votes in the second round on Sunday, beating his challenger Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, who won 47.86% according to the Supreme Election Council. The result is expected to be confirmed in the coming days. The vote seals Erdogan's place in history as he extends his 20-year rule for a further 5 years. Dozens of rebel fighters have been killed in clashes with security forces in India's remote northeastern state of Manipur. The state has been on edge since the explosion of inter-ethnic violence on May 3rd between tribal groups and ethnic majority Meitei people, who plan to extend economic quotas to the Meitei. Dozens were killed in the unrest and thousands were displaced. On Sunday, Chief Minister N.B. Saran Singh told reporters that at least 40 fighters had been killed in a crackdown by security forces. The far-flung states of North India, sandwiched between Bangladesh, China and Myanmar, have long been a tinderbox of tension between different ethnic groups. NATO Chief Jens Stoltenberg has called on Kosovo to tone down tensions with Serbia, 2 days after clashes between Kosovan police and protesters who are opposed to Albanian mayors taking office in ethnic Serbian areas. Transatlantic Military Alliance's Secretary General said he had spoken to European Union Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell about Kosovo. He added that Pristina and Belgrade must engage in the EU-led dialogue. Serbs, who form the majority of the population in Kosovo's northern region, do not accept the 2008 declaration of independence from Serbia and still see Belgrade as their capital more than 2 decades after the war ended in 1999. And back to the world news headlines. Turkey's Erdogan celebrates presidential election runoff win. Dozens killed with troops in northeastern India. NATO urges Kosovo to ease tension with Serbia after clashes. That was world news.
Development News.
A high-level meeting chaired by the Minister of Water Supply and Estate Infrastructure Development, Jeevan Thunderman, was held recently between officials of the Ministry, the Water Board and the Asian Development Bank to finalize significant reforms in the water sector. The objective of the meeting was reportedly to achieve consensus on the ambitious 3-year reform program. The reform program aims to address several underlying issues in the water sector in Sri Lanka, the ministry said. In a statement, the Ministry of Water Supply and Asset Infrastructure Development mentioned that this infra-transformative initiative has received substantial support from the ADB, which is expected to commit $200 million in budgetary support assistance to bolster the reform agenda. And we move on to sports news. IPL 2023. The much-awaited Indian Premier League final between Chennai Super Kings and Gujarat Titans will be played later today after heavy rains in Ahmedabad last evening forced organisers to reschedule the game. The rain briefly stopped at about 10 p.m. with covers taken off and the players coming out to warm up, but rain returned within 15 minutes. Chennai are looking to equal Mumbai's record tally of 5 IPL titles. That was sports news.
Go ekakthiyana youth kat life ke change kat niyamata setna aswahagena dekupugina habe karana youth kat niyamata setna friendship ekamenna.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Cordelia Cruises and Advantis announced a partnership to attract tourists to Sri Lanka and elevate the industry. Under the partnership, Advantis Travel and Aviation will operate as general sales agent, while Advantis Group subsidiary Clarion Shipping will serve as port agent for the cruise line in Sri Lanka. Cordelia Cruise President and CEO Jürgen Bullam said that Sri Lanka is truly one of the most uniquely diverse holiday destinations in the Asian region and proud to be part of this growing industry. The collaboration of the two brands is a significant milestone in the country's efforts to boost the tourism industry and capitalize on the island's untapped potential. That was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakthiyana youth kat life ke change kat niyamata setna aswahagena dekupugina habe karana youth kat niyamata setna friendship ekamenna.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of...
For the 5th consecutive year, LOLC is awarded People's Financial Services Brand of the Year at the 2022 Slim Kantar People's Awards. As the People's Financial Services Brand of the Year, LOLC continues to place the customer first, and this has won the hearts, minds and trust of Sri Lankans, with yet another prestigious award as proof of this lasting commitment. LOLC, imagine the possibilities.
The Board of Investment has increased the foreign direct investment target of $2 billion from earlier $1.3 billion for the year, as foreign investors are returning to the country following a challenging year and given the possibility of realizing big-ticket investment pertaining to an oil refinery in Hambantota. Board of Investment Director General Renika Veerakone, in a press conference, revealed the government in its directive increased the FDI target given to BOI to $2 billion from the earlier $1.3 billion. That was economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather report.
Department of Meteorology predicts showers and showers at several places of the island during the evening or night. Meanwhile, general public is being requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. That was the weather report. And back to the headlines of the news. The head of state presents proclamation declaring the historic Mahangana sacred site as a place of worship. Cabinet approval sought to introduce a new bill to confirm religious freedom and thwart insults on social media. 22 GCE O-level examination gets underway today. Fuel quota for all vehicles to be doubled from 31st of May. Interest-free loans resume from next week for education in private universities. Ministry of Agriculture says stock of urea fertilizer imported for Yada season to be distributed within the next 2 weeks. International news, Turkey's Erdogan celebrates presidential election runoff win. Sports is cricket, IPL final to be played today after heavy rain in Ahmedabad last evening. And that ends this afternoon news broadcast.